Hello, my successful tribe. I welcome you to Success Link, a channel where we talk different careers, different businesses, and everything in between. In each and every episode, I bring to you a different guest that's going to share with us their experiences, give us tips and advices so that we can learn and grow. Because on this channel, it's all about growing, it's all about being successful, no matter what it is that you're doing, no matter how long it takes you. The aim is to be successful. In case you're joining us for the first time, my name is Letlhogonolo and I welcome you here. In today's episode, we have a lovely lady by the name of Julia. But before we get into today's interview, please don't forget to subscribe, to like, and to comment. And please do share so that you do not miss anything that we post on the channel. Hi Julia, welcome to the Success Link channel and thank you for taking your time to come and share your journey and your story with us. Please introduce yourself to our viewers, just who Julia is, where do you come from, and also maybe just put a little bit of your educational background.
Okay, hi viewers. Hi, Kidna Julia. So now I'm from Askula. Well, they call it Mama Nyua right now. So Marage Askula. Currently, I am a teacher. I actually started with BCom Economics. I did that for 3 years at University of Limpopo. Then peer pressure yari yo PGCE wena. And that is method for education. So I did method in education.
Let me understand this. So you say you went to the University of Limpopo, you studied BCom
Economics.
Then after that, you didn't go look for a job in that field, or did you maybe start by looking for a job? Then when you're not finding it, do PGCE, or you? How did that go about?
Immediately after completing it, like January, I was at the University of Limpopo trying to register for PGCE.
Okay.
Yeah. At first, I was
okay.
like, I love economics. Let me do honors for economics. But then the moment they said they don't have space anymore because I was late and I didn't apply the year before. So I just went with friends, university friends. Yay.
okay.
Funza, education, working, free money. So
okay.
yeah, so I went for PGCE.
Okay, so did you ever maybe after that, after completing your PGCE, did you look for a job in economics field, or did you just go straight into teaching? How was the job search or job hunt, if I can put it like that? How was that journey for you? Like starting immediately when you're done with your studies, and then maybe take us through your journey and when you first found your first job.
Okay, so while I was doing PGCE, I was also applying. So I used Indeed, Pnet, all those stuff. So I was applying for economics jobs as well as education jobs, even though I didn't have my certificate in education yet, in teaching yet. So with economics, I felt like now when I look back, I think I just didn't have the right idea on how to apply for those jobs because I was specifically looking for economist jobs. And the requirements were you need to have a minimum of master's and 3 years experience. And I didn't even have 2 months experience. So, but I kept applying, even for bank tellers and all those. I was just applying for anything that looked like finance, economics, sort of, so investment, sort of, yeah, those kind of jobs. So I wasn't really organizing that way because I didn't know what I was looking for. But with education, it was straightforward. I'm a teacher. Well, about to be a teacher of accounting and economics. So for this one, it was easy, but I couldn't get a job. And this was in 2018 when I was doing PGCE because number one, I didn't have SACE. So they couldn't hire me because of that.
So how long did it take you to get your first job? And was it in economics or in teaching? How long did it take you to get your first job?
My first real job, I got it in July 2019. So I'll say 7 months later, 7 months after I've completed my my PGCE, 6-7 months. That's when I got a job. But logona really 4 months. It was a maternity thing in teaching, and logona in
Oh,
primary.
okay.
So they were in need of someone
Oh.
very, very like urgent. As soon as yesterday, then I was available, and I took the job.
Okay, so if you got your first job at a primary and then you got to have that experience.
Mm.
So that first experience, was it something that you expected it to be? And also I would like to talk about the financial part of it, because there's a saying out there that teachers are underpaid. Being you mentioned that now you're working as a teacher. So I want you to talk about when you first started working as a teacher. Was it what you expected it to be? And also in terms of money, how was it? Is it what we hear that teachers do are underpaid?
Oh, for the pay. For the pay, I would say for temporary teachers back then, I don't know now. I think things changed, but I can't be I'm not sure about that. But for temporary teachers, we were getting our full pay, meaning we were not like it was in
Okay.
the pension, what. So the money was good for me. With, it was
Okay.
wow. Pella, it's my first time. I even bought phone cash
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like that. But but for the experience, it was nothing like I expected, to be honest. I thought it was going to be like, what we see in the movies, see teachers and learners singing, what we do on practicals, Pella. It's you are not in the system yet. You are just a visitor when you're doing practicals and all. But when you are in the system, you get to feel, this is not pap and place, actually. Now it's no longer about how you feel. It's about how the learners feel. The parents, are they happy with how you're teaching the kids? The learners, do they understand you? Pella, I can be able to say, hey, I'm a good teacher in my head, but in reality, Shem, yo, I know.
Yeah.
Kiabalel. But as days went on, I got the hang of it now. Oh, okay. As I wake up in the morning, I need to be thoroughly prepared because I was teaching grade 4 to grade 7, maths, English, NS, they call it NS Tech. It was in grade 5, NS Tech, SS, and EMS, like 5 things. So you have to prepare for all those things and imagine a whole economist. I didn't even know
Yeah.
NS and technology, they can be combined. Yeah, but one thing. SS, but I got the
Yeah.
hang of it for the third month. And imagine I'm left with
Oh,
only three
okay.
weeks to be done. So now that's when I'm getting the hang of it. But yeah, it's looking back, it was a fun challenge. I'll definitely repeat
Yeah,
it if I
yeah,
have to, if I get the
yeah.
opportunity to, because it was fun. It was in a new environment. It was dealing with kids. Yo, I don't know how parents do it, but kudos to you guys. Who I don't.
Okay, then after that first job, are you still working like at primary level, or like maybe take us through your career journey? Where are you now? And the career as a whole.
Okay, so for that moment, November, my contract ended. It was 4 months. My contract ended. I went home. Now I'm jobless. It's 2019 November. A week later, my father passes on. So now reality sinks in. The breadwinner is gone. No one is working at home. It's like, okay, I'm the only one who can do some plans, but I don't have any plans. But I got just, online jobs. It was like, for today, they want
Okay.
you to call people that owe money and stuff. They don't pay you enough, but it was something to buy airtime and electricity. So it was better. That December, no. The December, I didn't work until the next year, December, when they were introducing, it was that year of Corona, they were introducing
Yes.
the teacher assistant thingies. So I applied,
Yes. Yes.
went for interviews, awkward interviews, I won't forget them. But anyway, they called me back to say, you got the job. We went there to work. They were paying 3.5 by then, 2020 December. So it was high school year go high. We were just helping teachers with marking and stuff because there was nothing to do. Learners had done writing and, you know. So on the fourth day of starting the job, I get a call from Northern Cape College, FET College, and then they were like, "Oh, so remember we interviewed you around May, June. Can you imagine? So we sent you an email, you didn't reply, and mind you, it was like 5 days for me without data, so I didn't even think about emails and stuff. That very same day, I told my mom, or ish, airtime ya 10 rand anyana. I want to check my emails. I check, I find the appointment letter. Or haibo. I passed the interview. They even offered.
Was it from the college?
Yes, from the college. So they sent it apparently on the 1st of December, the day we started working there as the EAs, and I didn't have that. So now they called me on the 4th. Then they are looking for business studies and economics lectures. And then I'm like, woo, me a whole lecture. And the pay is very good. It's reasonable for me. And it's in Kimberley. So I was like, I'm not even reading the rest of this. I'll deal with the consequences later. I'm accepting the job. So the first thing I did was the next day when we went to work, I asked to print out. There was this other teacher. I used to be friends with his children. So Kamatalo said, okay, this is the thing. Can I make copies and stuff? Then I made printouts, send the offer letters, the appointment letters, signed everything. And then the very same day they replied and said that they sent me a contract saying I will start on the 1st of January. Can you imagine? I was like, I can only 2 cents. I had like minus 89 rand in my account. I won't forget. Minus 89 rand. And now I have to fly or take a bus or train to Northern Cape. I've never even been to Gauteng. What do you mean? So, and today is 5, which is December. But, all in God's hands.
All right. So, looking back on your journey, where you started as a teacher and currently you have a permanent job right now as a teacher.
Yes.
Yes. So, looking at the entire journey that you walked, what advice would you? Because I understand that you started off with a good salary, then things went bad, and then eventually the journey has maybe been ups and downs and things like that. So looking back, like how did your entire journey make you feel? Emotional wellness or emotional well-being, and what advice would you give any other person who's busy struggling to get a job? Especially as a university graduate, you know how university graduates in the final year you already see your life as like, oh wow, it's like you see it being very beautiful and everything, but then the reality then come and kicks in all these challenges. How did that make you feel as Julia, and what advice would you give someone who's just busy, maybe in their final year, or they graduated last year, things are just not happening? What advice would you give to them?
Number one, I would say it's good to have dreams. Definitely important, because then you are able to set your targets according to your dreams. And dreaming is beautiful, man. But my experiences, I'll say they humbled me. I feel like if I had gotten what I wanted the time I wanted them, I would have been a very greedy person. Well, I'm a nice person by nature, but the things that were happening, getting a job in 2019, the money, I didn't have any support or anything. That is why the money was good for me. And I'm going to skip my dad's death, because that one, it's just, yeah. So, but 2021, when I got the lecture job, I also got an offer to be a data analyst in Cape Town. And girl, I was like, wow, this is my dream. But things didn't go the way I wanted them to. And I feel like that was just a humbling moment. That was just God humbling me, because the path that I was on, it was just not the path He wanted me to be on. At that time, I didn't understand because what do you mean? I could be a Cape Town citizen and be rich, driving a Maserati by now. But then you're saying this. Come on. But now
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
see, you know, after when you are doing your final year, everyone wants to work. We all want to work,
yeah,
especially
yeah.
if your background is at home. It's maybe the same as mine was, is, or maybe it's worse, or maybe you just want to better things up, or you just want to work. Either way, I feel just listen to the inner voice. What is your inner voice
Yeah.
saying? Are you supposed to continue with your studies, or are you supposed to start applying for jobs? Because people will advise you and they will give you good advices. But then if those advices do not align with what you want when as a person, they're just fruitless. So it doesn't matter
Yeah.
if they tell you to listen, I will sponsor you with 1 million. Start that business now. You have potential. If we're now in you, there is no that potential or the desire to do that, there's no need for that. Follow your own inner
Yeah.
voice.
Exactly, because I like what you are saying, because if you yourself is not like, you do, you don't really want to do it, but just because they say do it, you're not going
Mm-hmm.
to put your efforts. You understand? It's because that's not something that you want to do. You won't even be creative or to make that thing be sustainable, for you,
Yeah.
because it's just like, I'm just doing it because someone said I must do it. And I really like what you are saying. So then now, I heard you talking about that after you lost that 4 months contract, you did some online jobs. So are you saying that you, as a teacher now, are you doing any extra hustles, just to subsidize your income?
Okay. In the beginning, you said you just hear rumors, Suguti, teachers are being underpaid. Girl, let me tell you, we are being so underpaid, it's not funny anymore. I mean, so if you don't have another income, like this is your primary income, but if you don't have other incomes out there, you're just gonna live below basic life because it's either you're getting a house or you're getting a car. And for now, we work in other provinces far from home. A car is a necessity. But then now you're also renting, and the rent this side it's like wow. But I still do online jobs. I do. Someone will give me an email and say call these people, and then I'll do that. And I also do teach English online on Native Camp. It's not as
Oh, okay.
busy as it used to be before. During Corona, it was so busy. But now you just do it because that extra income, at least it buys me, I can say, electricity for a month. It pays for my Wi-Fi. Then I know with my primary income, I'm doing other bigger expenses. I'm paying other bigger expenses. So for teachers, it's very advisable, Shem. Basic education teachers, it's very advisable to just, when you get your 20 and 1,000, because vele it is that, and maybe less or
20
more
and
for
a
others.
thousand. How you say it? 20 and a thousand.
Because for me, after paying rent and transport and
Yeah.
myself, well, I've realized, or hey, as the years go on, I'm becoming expensive even for myself. Then you're left with Okaru nyana. Haya bari yo mbezi was very Shoprite. There's a sale here. Bari combo ya ini. Then home
They
people. But
want the
anyway,
money.
so but the money is not with the economy though as well. It's like you're getting this money. It's good only if the inflation was lower.
So, given should you be given an opportunity
Mm-hmm.
of how everything played out? Yeah. You did BCom
Mm-hmm.
economy, right? Yes,
Economics,
and
yeah.
then you went straight economics. Then you went straight to PGCE. I've got two questions on this statement.
Mm.
Did you always want to do BCom economics?
Mm-hmm.
And should you be given opportunity to go back in grade 12, what field of study were you going to do? What basically what I'm saying is, in your career journey, would you want to change anything?
No, I've always wanted to be. At first, I didn't know who they're economists. I was in grade 9, I was 14. So I was watching Muvango. I just loved the confidence Tandaza, like, man, she exuded so much confidence. I was like, I want to be like her. They're business women, and I felt EMS like nobody's business. But but I started doing research. My father liked to take me every year to pour in petrol, upechaloto, and all this stuff. Then I was always interested in what he would say. Your petrol is going up and stuff. Then I was like, but what makes petrol something so simple that everyone uses to go up? Why is food? My parents complain over food is expensive now. What is happening? How do these things happen? I want to know. I want to be part of the people that make the price go up. I didn't want to make the price go down. I wanted them to go up.
Yeah.
So, but then in grade 9, I asked one of the teachers, she was barking student teacher, if I want to make the prices go up, what do I study to be? And then she was like, no, that is the economist and econometrist. And then now she confused me, because what do you mean there's an economist and econometrist? And then she started explaining. She was very patient, Shem. I just forgot her name, but I saw her when I was doing my first year go UL at go structure. But anyway, I digress. So I just loved business economics from there. Then grade 10, I did my commerce. Uh, failed, obviously, because like, what do you mean? But first term, not failed the whole grade, first term. But then I was like, there's no way I'm going to fail. If people did this, I'm going to do it. But the good thing for us then was the syllabus was changing from NCS to CAPS. So we were there, and we were lucky. Even if we failed, they just by people go, no, it's a new curriculum. They're getting used to it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're the first ones. Okay.
but I
And
wouldn't change a thing though.
okay, so because now you ended up, now you're teaching economics, I believe.
I'm
So do you still
economics.
have economics? So do you still have that thing of you wish to one day still go back to the field of working as an economist or something, or you are just fine with teaching it now?
Uh, and I want to, but for now, I feel this is what God wants me to do, because seriously, even if I apply for something and it shows promise, there's just something that comes up in front, like something just
Oh,
messes it up. So I feel like it's a sign, because it's been happening so many times. I feel like now it's time for me to just be obedient to the word and be like, okay, God,
yeah.
lead me. But if I were to move from basic education, I would like to be a professor of economics. That's actually my dream now.
Oh, okay, Prof.
Prof baby.
Okay, problem. So, as you know, on this channel, we are mostly talking about, different careers, different businesses, and everything. And I believe you're doing both career wise and you're doing the side hustles that you talked about. So, what advice could you give someone who's in grade 11? I love grade 11 because I
It's the
believe
tougher.
that's where you need to be knowing what you're applying for, what you're going to study for. And I believe sometimes career exhibition or career guidance is not done enough. So, what advice would you tell a student, a learner that's in grade 11 about, choosing career fields to study for and also applying for universities?
Number one, I would say money is very important, but don't go chasing money, because you will end up in a field wherein you get a lot of money, but mentally you're being abused every day. Speaking from experience, Pella was once chased out of Cape Town.
What do you mean you once chased out of Cape Town?
Yeah, Miguel, you don't know. So we'll come back to that.
Okay, okay, let's go to the advices and then we'll hear the story of
Yeah.
Cape Town. Okay,
So
money's, yeah.
study what you love, because I feel like if you are doing what you love, sometimes even the pay, it becomes not that, well, it is important, but it doesn't become your whole goal for your whole life. So, when you wake up, you're going to do something that you love. You feel like you're making a difference, or it is building you as a person to be a better person. So, number one, if you're in grade 11, you're doing commerce, don't go for economics because your friend said they're going to do economics. Even if you have to go for business administration, business management, or even accounting, to be an accountant, do that. If you are in science, I don't know what they do there, but they're environmentalists, physicists, then we get go Big Bang Theory. I don't know them in real life. So do what you love. Something yellow ring each and every day. O ka se be depressed ka ra yona, to be honest. So follow your heart. Don't chase money. Tell I fail, Bashamri.
We're almost at the end of our session, but I want to hear this Cape Town. What you said something about Cape Town. You were once kicked out at Cape Town. Please share with us.
Yeah. So we were in Cape Town for work. It was Barakenge. What do they call this? It was a workshop for a whole week in Cape Town, from Kimberley to Cape Town. So, we're the rights. So get that thing, I'm going to talk and I'm going to ask questions, and they're not going to threaten me. And I still stand by that, by the way. So when we were there, what happened? Because it was in 2022, if I'm not mistaken. I had a quarrel with the deputy director of the college. I think I was on the phone while we were on training. I got an emergency call. Then I went out to answer it, and then I went back in. And I had informed the trainer person, the person who was training us, Oguti, I have an emergency, so can I be excused? And then he was like, no, sharp. Then I went out. I talked on the phone for a few minutes, and then when I came in, that man called me. He was like, can you imagine, Karabat? And then, okay, sharp, excuse me, hey, do you have a problem? I was like, no. And then, like, no, what's going on? You keep going up and down. I just went out only once. Okay, but then be humble. I was like, oh no, I had a phone call, but now it's fine. Do you want to go home? I was like, how? But I'm trying to be nice and you're being mean to me. To chill. No. And then was like, okay, I'll send you home. I'll show you. Okay, maybe I'm missing something. So after the training, I go back to the facilitator person. I'm like, I'm sorry for disturbing the thingy because I had a phone call. Maybe it took long. If I missed some stuff, can I get, because they were giving them papers and stuff. And I was like, no, you didn't miss anything. We were just starting we were just getting into the content, the core content of the thingy when you came back. He gave me the material. Okay, now I'm sorted. He was like, oh, see you tomorrow. When I get out of the hall, the man is there. Okay, and then I go to him, the deputy director, yes. So I go to him, I'm like, sir, and then he ignores me. Then, when we are having dinner there, they receive a call. Like, okay, this is Brenda or Paulina from the Northern Cape in Kimberley. We were told to reschedule your flight. You will no longer be living with the others. You'll be leaving tomorrow in the morning. Can you make it to the airport at 4 a.m.? But what? I'm sorry, what? And then at that time, like, Girujimo, the man is there. I'm facing him. I'm like, you really did it, Mara. Well, if you go low, I can go lower, Baba. I can go lower. And I won't beg to stay here. So I go to him. I'm like, sir, you rescheduled my what now? He's like, yeah, I carry you left. I was like, you didn't ask me. You didn't even ask if I was okay or anything. And you just assumed because I went out, maybe I was pressed. I went to the bathroom and then I came back. But you assume I'm going up and down and I want to go home. I mean, come on. We are in a foreign land. Sure. it's nice to be in Cape Town, but you can't just decide you want to make an example of me. Tell me one thing I once did that you can recall. This one record. Then I'm like, he's going on and on with me there. I'm like, okay, guy, anyway, I go to my room and then I have this sister from another mother. I call her, Pella, now it's coming back. Rapid. They are really chasing me out and I'm crying. I call her. She's like, you know what? I have a lawyer friend. Then we call the lawyer. The lawyer is like giving me all the details or no. If you did something wrong for real, they have the right to do that. But if you don't feel like you did it, in my mind, I felt like, listen, even in my heart, even today, I did nothing wrong. I deserved a second chance. So I stayed. The man called me. I was like, I'm not going to live with him. He sent me an SMS. I was like, I don't want to live with you. I don't trust you. You don't even know me. What if you kidnap me? I don't want to go anywhere with you. But at that time, I'm talking to the director and I'm not planning on resigning anytime soon. And the job, it's permanent now, Pela. Okay, so 4 a.m. he calls. I reject the calls. I didn't sleep that night. He calls. I reject. They try to evict me. And then I go down to
at the hotel.
Yeah. So he tried to call the people that work at the reception. There's a person in. We were staying at Protea Hotel. Ice and fire and ice or ice and fire meant that you're a beautiful word in the heart of Cape Town. Manyoko ncha. Yo. So they were like calling my room and then I answered, hi, is this Miss Julia? I was like, yeah. And I forgot the room number. I was like, yeah. Oh, okay. So your boss is looking for you down here. It's time to go. I was like, I'm not going anywhere. And then I hung up. And then I felt bad and then I called them and then I was like, if my stay ends today, what is supposed to be my checkout time? It was like, no, you can leave at 11 and 12. That's when the latest should be 12. I was like, oh, I still have until then. I slept to shame. He called. Even back at head office, Kimberly, the HR people, they called. I was like, Angizingeni. I want them to call me and say, we are firing you. I'll be the first to you are fired. But so they didn't evict me.
But would you say when you look at it, was it someone who was just misusing his superior powers, or maybe it was something that maybe you're just there hard luck for you because they had to, maybe it's something that the other people usually do and then he felt like he need to just show discipline that hey, we paid money for this course, you guys need to pay attention to everything, or you think he's just someone who's just misusing his power?
Now he was definitely just misusing it and trying to make an example of Pella, I can also do this. Because there was no reason for that. And also, before then, I didn't know him well enough to know his traits before then. But after then, I became very vocal about his attitude. I think I was actually fishing for, barking on bakuncha miracle as a retrenchment though, but I just wanted to go back to Limpopo. Kimberley was too hot. I don't know. I was being ungrateful. But after that, I started to notice, if we have workshops like the moderating stuff, he would select certain people. And from then, I became the first number one target. Ashema was never involved anywhere anymore. But then it became very clear, or between him and I, it's always going to be personal than business. So you can't work with someone like this. And especially since he was the head of my department, a commerce department, and also the deputy director of the college. But he was definitely misusing his power.
Hear about your experiences, and thank you for taking your time to share your journey with us. I most probably know that those that are watching will probably learn one thing or two, and also speaking up for themselves with, when you have bully bosses. So thank you very much, Julia.
Okay, thank you, Shem. Thank you for talking to me.